Hi, Dan Got a Thunder here. Long time no see. Anyway, this is a developer update for Loki, and they are going to rework him because in any good game mode, he's kind of bullshit and kind of useless. He does exactly two things well. He can delete one person from the map by burning his entire kit, and then he can split push. They are two inherently unfun and uninteresting things. One, you only are able to just be a pain in the ass by split pushing the whole fucking time, so you leave your own team out on an island, which is no fun for your team, and you're just kind of a pain in the ass in the enemy team's communications. The other one just turns the game into a 4v4 because you're fucking worthless after you burn your whole kit, and your whole kit can only kill one person. So, those are the real problems with Loki, but he's apparently popular, can't be buffed. That's true. And they say that his, core problems that cause frustration and prevents us from buffing him as a true assassin are his ability to split push, and his animation timings and damage output are too fast for most opponents to react to. Partially true. He does have a lot of very quick damage, but it's innately that even if you can't react to it, he can only delete one squishy, and then he's useless. After he does all that, he's a sitting duck, so it doesn't really matter that much. So, really just kind of, they're saying, like, okay, he's very popular. Yes, because he's pretty easy to play. I'll admit, when I started, I was a Loki specialist. Not as popular in Conquest and less popular in Ranked. That's because he sucks, and the better you get, the more you learn how to deal with him. And you never see him in competitive. The last time you saw him in competitive was like Season 5 Smite Console League. So, yeah, that's pretty damning. Popularity ranks, though, he's actually much less popular than he used to be, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so for each and every rework, we will strive to preserve the god's core playstyle. Let's see. He thinks of backstabbing assassin reminiscent of an MMO rogue. They do not want split push. This is good. So they really wanted to keep him as an assassin, and they wanted to prevent the whole split push thing. So he likes to murder a person, and they wanted to get rid of that, that's really good. Clear balance, make him more viable, increase him into the middle of the pack territory, whatever. That's all their metrics. But, so, here is their pitch. They want to keep Vanish strong, lean into the stealth assassin gameplay, add more synergy to his passive. For those of you who don't know, which is probably very few of you, his passive lets him do 25% more damage with all basic attacks if he is behind the person. That's why his aim strike empowers his basic. His assassinate puts him behind the enemy by default. So, basic attack chain is going to go up. It used to be the current version of him. It's 75% on his first swing, which is actually weaker than most. Behind you will get, a little bit of synergy with other abilities. Vanish now is a little bit slower to come out, and if you hit him, he is still stealthed, which is unique. But you get to see where he is a little bit, which kind of negates the point of being stealthed. There should be a few niche cases, but this effectively takes away that ability. So, Decoy is now going to be Agonizing Venom, which is an AoE, which if someone stays in the AoE field for 2 seconds, which I think is going to be difficult. You're going to need CC and lock someone down in the process. If that happens, if they're in for 2 seconds, they are blinded, which means that all of Loki's attacks gain 25% extra damage, all of his basics, and his third ability, Flurry of Daggers. I think this is a pretty weak ability. It's not that it's weak, it's just that it's boring. So it's a cone that fires, and he channels into a combat stance, and they're not very specific on what that means. Does he self-root? Is it like Talu Assault, but with like an Ao Kuang hitbox? They're not very clear on that. If he attacks with this ability from behind, it gets 25% extra damage, and it hits like every 0.35 seconds for 1.5 seconds and gets 4 ticks off. I think it's kind of a dull ability. It makes sense. It's not that it's weak. conceptually, it has the nice synergy with the passive. It's just kind of dull. I think they should see if they can play off of his trickster spirit, off of this illusionist, this pain in the ass dick of a Norse god. If they can play off of that with Flurry of Daggers a little bit more, I think that would be cooler. But whatever. His ultimate ability has a little bit more time to teleport, so it's a little bit less of a get out of jail free card. But if he uses it on offense, he teleports, and then he can hit a god nearby where he teleports if there's one in range, and it's a cripple instead of a stun. It used to be it's currently a stun. Then he does a cone attack, which does more damage, and that hits the stun. I didn't realize that second part. I just thought it did additional damage. That's actually really cool. There's a little bit more CC overall in his kit as a result if he hits, but he's actually a little more risky to use. So I think maybe this Flurry of Daggers should give him some kind of mobility, or maybe if he uses it, he can warp to the position of the vision of his past self. Because this is supposed to be a little bit thematically like Decoy, where you get to see the chains and you get to see a Loki, but it's not taunting like it used to. So maybe this ability should have some interaction with his 2, which lets him warp to that position. That would be cool. But either way, I think this is a much more interesting Loki than the one we used to have. They wanted to make sure he can't be a split push asshole. Mission achieved. They wanted to give him more options for counterplay. Mission achieved. And they wanted to have him do more than just be able to delete one person and run the fuck away. And I think they achieved that. Flurry of Daggers is really my only complaint. I think it's boring. Not bad, but kind of dull, especially for an ability that's not meant to be his wave clear, because it seems very clear to me, very obvious, that this new Agonizing Venom is the wave clear. So if they can fix that, I think this would make an excellent rework. As it is, it's a very good rework in my opinion. We'll have to see the numbers. They could still fuck it up with the numbers and just make him absolutely fucking broken. So imagine Loki in all your games. That'll be great. Either way, this has been Dan God of Thunder. If you haven't hit the follow button, go ahead and subscribe button. Go ahead and do so. Thank you for watching. Take care. Catch you all in the next one.